Alright guys, we are going to be quickly doing a should you guys summon for the engage with booster. So I personally do not have any prior knowledge of using this unit or what it actually does in actual battle. So I can't really go out of my way to kind of give you guys my personal opinions on how this unit works. So what we're going to do, we will just kind of review this unit just on on paper, and then kind of gauge how good this unit can be, and then we'll actually hop over to the website just to kind of take a look at some other red ray unit to kind of get a better glimpse of how this is compared to some of the other future releases, and then we can kind of go from there. Usually I like to use it myself personally to kind of get to know the unit a little bit better, at least on the basic surface, so I know what I'm talking about. But that's all right, we don't really have that, so this is going to be a pretty brief review for sure. So first of all, this is going to be a red ray unit. So red right now is still continuously being I guess harassed by blue element unit in many stages. I think particularly just in arena. I don't think any other content there isn't necessarily a way to make a unit bad. It's just you don't use it for certain content, you use some other element. But for arena specifically, now that we have the Sasabi joining the blue element lineup, you can make a pretty scary arena team with Hakashiki, Zeta, and Sasabi. So it's not going to be a fun time running a red unit, so to the least to say. So regarding the arena meta, I don't think this unit is not going to shine for the time being until we have like a really strong green unit that can kind of shaking up the meta. So that's first and foremost. But other than that, let's kind of take a look at the overall kit. So Beam Saber is the EX skill. Stat wise, I'm not really gonna touch too much on that. I think they're pretty much what we expect. They don't really fluctuate a whole lot, so we have that. EX skill is pretty generic, so it's gonna target one enemy unit and then deal damage percentage at max out EX skill level 5. EX skill level 1, I'm assuming that number should fall anywhere between 3 to 400 maybe. It's not gonna be 500 for sure. Even we have that. Oh, we have the unavoidable status, right? But this is definitely not ever going to be as good as the Hakashiki, because this is simply targeting one enemy, so it's not going to be as effective as the Hakashiki is, right? So we definitely a fact right there. 8 seconds is pretty good. But I think when you actually obtain this unit, you might start out at probably at 4% and then eventually work your way up. So that's usually how this goes. The Transcendent skill, we will kind of take a look at it afterwards. So these two skills are pretty short. So when battle begins for 30 seconds, so it's pretty accurate to the actual storyline, because the mechanics was kind of talking about that. The booster is not gonna last anything, like after ignition is not gonna last anything more than 30 seconds or 3 minutes in the anime case. This one is only 30 seconds, so I love the fact that they stay true to that. So I'll definitely give them respect for that. You do have an EX skill gauge increase by 64%, so that is a screaming Zeta Gundam-esque there, so that's very powerful, right? Not bad, pretty cool. For skill 2, you unlock Beam Saber, the strong attack Beam Saber, and then when battle begins for 30 seconds, increase evasion by 28%. That is huge. I wish that Sasabi has that right away. that'll be cool. 20%, I'll definitely take that. So what about these? Oh, yeah. Even if they unlock strong attack whatnot, beam rifle is not really going to do much, because the Beam Saber being the close weapon is going to be the main focus of this unit. So now we can kind of go back ahead and talk about the Transcendent skill. So before looking at the Transcendent skill, I think this unit is definitely lacking a lot of crucial things to make this unit a well-deserving read. And first of all, there isn't a whole lot of survivability going on. Yes, you do have that 28% evasion, but that's in many cases that's just they're not gonna be enough, right? It's 28% is still lowballing it. I say anywhere around 60+%, then you're starting to cook really good. But I feel like 28% is just not good enough. Sorry, RNG can play its role, and then you can just literally get messed up every time. So it's always there. But with the added Transcendent skill, right when a battle starts for 30 seconds, increase the evasion rate by 50%. So I'm pretty sure starting out you should be getting, I don't know, somewhere in between in between 20% or something like that. So it's gonna gradually increase. So 20% is not bad, but this is definitely a huge investment as far as getting this unit to be good. So I think as you guys are watching this right now, this is definitely not a unit to summon immediately, because it's gonna drain a lot of your diamonds. So definitely not worth it in my honest opinion. And then when battle begins, increase beam damage to 36%, and then another the third line, increase the EX skill gauge by 50%. So that's good. Having the ability to have that going on allows you to pop your EX skill first and then continuously cycle through from that. So that's pretty nice. On top of that, on evasion for 10 seconds, increase beam damage by 17% for 5 times. So that's gonna be a whopping 70% at max capacity, right? That's pretty good. And on top of that, movement speed increased by 100%. So WSP is good because there are going to be many instances when you are a raid unit, you need to chase down the enemy. So having that speed advantage over your enemy actually make things a lot more easier to deal with. So in that case, the Transcendent skill does make the engage 0 with the booster very potent. But unfortunately, this is a very heavy investment unit. So just given how they handle the Transcendent skill, I'm pretty sure we would never see these two bottom lines unless you are at T5. Even at T4, they don't really give you like the best perks possible. So this is gonna be either you summon right now and then you have like a good 2,500 rainbow coin ready to drop onto this unit, or I mean it's just gonna be a skip in total. There's just no other way, right? So it's unfortunate. I love the design. It's not bad with the Transcendent skill, but it's gonna be an expensive one. So definitely it's not even like a meta changing unit at the moment. So no, don't even summon on that. Peche, she is unfortunately pretty, I guess, not user friendly. She has a lot of things that are more dedicated to the engage type, so being like all the like the original in-game units, so it's not going to be too good. So these two effects is not going to work in majority of the unit, but they're not bad effects, right? Skill 1 is kind of subjective as well because you're getting either or depending on what unit you're putting in raid. You get melee sense, and then for generic you get range sense. So it's strong for sure, but it's definitely not something we are looking for, and not this split up amongst the different stuff that it needs to be doing. So I feel like for Peche, she's not the popular summon for either, so pretty unfortunate. So I'm just gonna do a quick tour of the other feature releases that we should be coming out. Hopefully, I think Hisashi is definitely could be some unit that should be in the near horizon. So I think what makes Hisashi an interesting unit is just the Transcendent skill itself, right? There's just a lot of evasion going on, which makes her strong. I think there's definitely a lot of inspiration from the Sasabi that is kind of built into this, like the Hisashi, but better in a sense, right? So I think when this unit comes out, I think a lot of people are definitely going to be going for it. So there's stunning, there's also increased like allies beam damage, or just damage in general, so that's pretty powerful for sure. It's not bad for like early game for us right now as like a red unit. This one you obviously have to take a look. So this one is the high mobility type Kenfa. I don't think there's anything too amazing for this one. It's actually pretty lackluster. If you guys take a look at this unit, this is not good. This is not good enough. 60% remaining. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. You can probably just get one shot from then on. So it's not really that good. Increased movement speed, I mean, like, sure. This one is that's a pretty good merit right there. But then again, on the EXQ, there isn't really a lot of strong things going on. This might be the strongest part because you're dealing more damage to Gundam type, which I think I want to say like at least a good half of the game stuff or Gundam has Gundam type in it, or even more than 50%. So it's gonna be powerful. But I mean, overall, this is a pretty lackluster unit. So I don't know. But I think this is interesting though. Like 90%, 99%. That means you're always gonna be getting an EX skill. So it should be fun. Like these are not too good, but I think with this in mind, I think the high mobilities Kenfa should be a pretty fun unit to use. And then up next we have the Gao Plant Trainer. So I believe this is an event exclusive. Yeah, I think this is an event unit from what I recall. Are there anything worth mentioning? We have this, which is pretty similar to the Engage Zero that we have. And then when health remaining, we have this. So same thing again. So pretty repetitive going on. Evasion rate, movement speed, pretty similar stuff again. And then this is dealing type, like specific to the category, high mobility. So I don't like this right here. You never really know. You really have to check every unit. So let's say you're doing arena and you want to use this unit. To make this unit more effective, you'll probably have to check if more than half the squad has the attack. If not, I feel like this is not like this is just a dead trait, right? Pretty unfortunate. Unavoidable side is so they do pack this to a lot of kits, like into a lot of units, but I think most of them does not equate to Hakashiki level because they're only dealing to one enemy. So as an arena wise, is never going to be too strong. So that's the off chance of that. And then when you're dealing with high mobility, you get some increases. So this unit is really high mobility aggro. So that's why it's make it a fantastic unit because you have so much limitations. So kind of unfortunate. And then we have a mass reduced Kurbling. Okay, let's see what this one has. I mean, oh, no Transcendent either right now. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so there are units in game that does not even have Transcendent skill on for JP. I'm pretty sure eventually we will have like a new patch that says, you know, the XYZ unit are going to have their new Transcendent skill. So this one just have to wait. Is this? Oh, that's pretty good, right? So things to look forward into: increased accuracy, increased beam attack, or just damage to yourself in general. That's nice. This is okay. This is built in. Wow, that's cool. Release funnel, and this part of it is definitely Sasabi-esque. When you do damage, you stack that up, and then evasion rate stacks up as well when you do damage. So yeah, okay. They just kind of copy and paste. So you guys already know how evasion works. They don't necessarily plan out the way you want it to, or I guess this one it's differently because you're dealing damage to it. So you stack, so it shouldn't be too bad, I hope. And then last but not least, we have Marcella right here. Marcella is really strong. That is not even a joke. Like this unit right here is powerful. Increased accuracy, evasion, beam damage, more evasion, more beam damage. Like this is strong. All right. But other than that, that's pretty much all the red ray unit that we have like currently available to us in game. So it's after take a look at this, we can conclude that the Engage Zero with the booster is not that bad. You know, there's definitely perks that we want from the skill 1 and skill 2, but they're actually dropped into the Transcendent skill. So that just is the unfortunate factor. But by no means, I don't think the Engage Zero is anything that's bad. But it's bad for majority of the player base because we just don't really have the sufficient damage to just summon for everything. Unfortunate, right? This is not by no means a bad unit. So if you guys do decide to pull for this unit, just make sure you pair this alongside with a pretty good green unit so you don't immediately get sniped up. Other than that, that's gonna be pretty much it for me, and I'll be catching you guys on the next one.